Welcome to Wrestling Hill Talk, where we talk all things wrestling, old and new. I'm your host, Heck and Steve. We got Brian, Will, special guest Nick Canfield, Kev, Roger Elkins II, Ben Bowman, and of course, the lovely Dr. Nick. How's everybody doing this week?
Good.
It's Wednesday, baby.
That's great. It's been a pretty good week for me so far as well. Only got one thing for show and tell this week, but I think it's worth it. And of course, Nick being here, first timer for the show. We appreciate you showing up and hanging out with us. So just tell everybody a little bit about your wrestling fandom journey.
So, my dad, my uncle, my buddies, we've all been in the wrestling forever. As a kid, it was to be a professional wrestler, and I was fortunate enough to train in IOPW, Institute of Professional Wrestling.
Where's yours?
And I was going by the moniker my dad actually gave me by Nick Chaos. I trained for a little bit. I had some in style wrestling matches, and it was cut short a little bit, but since then, I started a podcast called the NSC Wrestling Gaming Podcast. Covered all wrestling video games, all wrestling promotions, indies, everything. And was fortunate enough to interview guys like Nunzio, Gene Snitsky, the Sandman, and Maven. We had a 3-hour sit-down conversation with Maven, Tommy
He's
Dreamer.
a good guy.
Oh, he is. Down in Nanacoke, I met Maven, talked to him, and he told me his journey through Tough Enough and how he was a teacher, and it was just basically just one chance. And it was a pretty cool journey. And then started, collecting, and that collection became an obsession. And I'm pretty happy I'm on the podcast with you guys.
Sweet.
That's awesome, man. We're happy to have you. And I couldn't help but notice that you kind of sound like Randy Orton when you talk. Especially like when you said Nick Chaos. Like, say that again.
Nick Chaos.
Yeah, see, that's kind of like Randy Orton.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. Chaos. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, speaking of Maven, man, I watch his YouTube videos all the time. He talks about how it feels. Well, Stevie Richards does that too. He has videos where it's like, how does it feel to go through a table? Or Maven will do videos where he's like, here's a list of all the people that hated me and why. So pretty interesting stuff if you peruse the YouTubes, which I'm sure most people do these days. Got a couple of comments coming in. Michael Bure saying, what's up? What's up, Nick?
Bad name, Michael Bure.
What's up, Michael?
PRC fam. AEW brought it tonight. Yeah, I don't know about that, but maybe.
Brought what?
Well, supposedly, because Ric Flair showed up, and Christian, I guess, went out there and talked a bunch of shit to him. So,
okay.
if it takes Ric
don't
Flair,
Don't ruin it for me. I'm watching it after this.
Roger, we're doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Now you'll have extra time to take a dump.
That's
we
messed up, man.
just did you a favor, Roger.
Listen, if Roger wants to watch his stories, let him watch his stories.
Exactly.
We're just giving you our time.
Thank you.
Don't
Heck and
fuck with his format. A wise man once said, "Fuck the tribal chief." And you know what?
Damn. Where'd this come
I
from?
remember who that wise man was. That was the same one that said that AJ Lee and CM Punk's daughter was Cora Jade.
Hey, I don't recall Kev saying that, William.
Yeah, there's only one wise man. That's
There's
Kev.
only one wise man.
All right.
I don't think the wise man would ever say that to the tribal chief.
No,
Speaking
sir.
of Christian, what do you think of his? What do you think of Christian's heel run in AEW?
I think it's a good one. I think it's a good story to run with. The only thing I don't like about it per se is the fact that the Nick I can't remember his last name now. Anyway, the kid that's now with him that was friends with Darby Allin. I don't like how he talks about his mom like that, but it's all part of the story. And I mean, to me, it's a great story. I think
it's the best they've done. I mean, it honestly reminds me of when Christian was in TNA, WWE didn't know how to use him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy that he's doing so well. I loved Christian Cage in TNA. He was amazing.
He was
So,
a
I mean, if
two-time
he-
world heavyweight champion in
he's
WWE.
fantastic
What are you
in
talking
TNA.
about?
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
after that, really, what did they do?
His character really grew in TNA. and then-
Two-time
yeah,
world
they used
champion,
it.
multiple-time tag champion, intercontinental champion, European champion. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
You also
I
gotta
just don't think
right?
they wanted to give him a serious singles run. I
He
mean,
didn't need
besides,
one. My
Yeah,
opinion.
I-
when Christian was in the 2004 run, when he had a feud with Chris Jericho about Trish Stratus, you saw that heel in him that was like, you felt bad for Chris Jericho, and you really wanted to dig into that storyline a little more, kind of like in the beginning with him and Edge about that whole father feud storyline when they first brought it in, when they first became a tag team. He had that potential, and now it just shows how versatile he really is with being a heel and being a baby face. And it's just
Hold on. You know how many wrestlers have gone through WWF, WCW, and WWE and never been a champion of any kind? And Christian has held virtually every title in the entire world.
Jake
So-
Roberts was
He's
one.
always going to be known as a
Piper.
tag team wrestler.
Yeah, so how in
Well,
the
I
hell
think
can anybody think that he didn't get a good run? He had a great run.
I mean, that's like people saying Bully Ray didn't have a good run because he was in TNA, he's world champion.
well,
and nobody
I
told
just think if
He did a
Edge
good
had not,
run.
if Edge had not been there lobbying for him, like, hey, this guy's good, and it's been well known, Vince didn't like Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think with WWE in general, there's always that tag team. Every tag team always has the one that's better, and that's just like how WWE and the fans work. Is like they always compare one better than the other, despite the fact that they're great. Like Matt Hardy is fantastic,
Yeah,
Christian's
I was just
fantastic.
gonna say the Hardy Boys.
Devon!
Yeah.
But
There's always
back to what the wise man said. Bully Ray had a great run in TNA and Impact.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
great
imagine
one.
if they had tried splitting up Legion of Doom, it wouldn't have worked.
No.
yeah.
Right.
That's a
I
little
agree with
different.
that.
Right, they
I
did
agree with
try.
that.
They did try.
Yeah.
I
And it
agree with that.
didn't work.
But those guys both had singles runs in WCW and NWA.
That's true.
Yeah, but I agree with that. But back to the Christian thing, man. He's held more titles than Bam Bam Bigelow, Mr. Perfect,
Jake
all
the
these
Snake
guys
Roberts,
combined.
Roddy Piper.
Yeah, he's held more titles than all those guys combined. Hell, he's probably had more championships than the Undertaker too. I mean, you think about that. So I definitely think he had his run. He just had a middle to upper middle card run. So maybe he's looked at that way. And I have a special place for Christian in my collection because, I was there in the arena the night that he won his first World Heavyweight Championship with WWE from Alberto Del Rio at Extreme Rules in 2011. So, I mean, I'm all about Christian, But before we get too far into things, I got to give a couple shout outs to some folks. I saw some folks come into the chat. I saw Bo Beasley come in. Shout out to my buddy Bo Beasley. Shout out to my boy Michael Hayden out there going through a lot in the world right now, but we fucking love that guy and we want to make sure he knows it. And big shout out to Thomas Brunette and his little brother Nicholas because they're going through some serious shit right now with their dad. I guess I don't know how much I can go into it, but I guess he's got some really serious medical stuff going on, and I guess he's heading to a nursing home. I don't know the whole story, but I get little tidbits. So shout out to those guys. Love you guys and appreciate you. And big shout outs from me.
Yeah. I'll be praying for you. Praying for Thomas and Nick's dad for sure. I'm sorry, Kev. Were you gonna say something?
I just said ditto. Not dildo, ditto.
No, I didn't know if I caught you about to start talking, and I'm sorry if I did. But if you just said ditto, I mean, hell yeah,
It's only been
I thought
11
he
minutes.
called-
He already brought up dildos.
I thought he called Ben Bowman a dildo.
I probably did.
Can't be a show without wise man saying something.
No, if he called me a D word, it'd be dummy.
You big
Ah.
dummy.
I actually saw a comment earlier that Kev would agree with. I think can't remember exactly what it said, but I think someone said, I think Christian's career is going better than Edge at this point. Yeah. Said, I'm sorry, but Christian's career may be better than Edge's.
You're
Kev, you
right.
would agree with that, right?
I
Hell
don't.
yeah, 120%.
Well,
Can I go
hold
off that?
on. In AEW, I don't agree with that because Edge is just starting.
Yeah,
So
he's
Christian's
just
already been
starting.
established there. So there's
Yeah.
a difference there.
Edge sucks
I
more
want-
than Kirby.
I want to say something about the Christian thing. What I love about him right now is what's been missing for a while in wrestling in general. It's some actual fucking heat. Like him coming off with those promos and all. Man, you hate the guy. You want to go through there and just whoop his ass. That's what we need. Is some good promos and some good heat. And not
Oh yeah,
you don't have to
he's
be-
got that Dominic Mysterio heat.
Yes, you don't need to be on there just cussing up a storm like MJF's. You need some actual good heat, where it's like old school days where they hate you, they're throwing stuff, they want to riot, they want to beat you up. That's what
See,
I
I
like
don't
about
think MJF has heat. I think MJF is just an asshole, and everybody
Yes.
wants to kick his ass just in general. Like
yeah,
it's
he's
not.
he's just a legitimate asshole.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's
it's
one
not-
that's one
it's
approach
not
to getting
wrestling.
heat. That's
Yeah,
one
but it's
approach.
now,
But
he's
it's not
now-
like
he's
wrestling
now
heat.
flipped.
It's
He's a
just
baby
like
face.
if you saw him on the street, you'd want to punch him in the mouth. Like you would take the chance on whether or not that guy could really kick your ass, and you'd punch him in the mouth.
That's how it was in the
now, if
80s
he-
too, though,
if he
when they
took-
thought.
if he took one of my autographs and tossed it, yeah, there wouldn't be no testing it. There'd just be doing.
Yeah, I
Well, he
definitely
got-
wouldn't
that's
pay
the
him
thing
all
with
that
Chris
money.
Christian.
And it worked.
That's the thing with Christian. You, as a heel, you want people to hate you. You know,
Yeah.
you want people to.
Well,
just
like I met
despise you and
Christian for the
everything you
first
ever say.
time in
And the thing
Indianapolis just this past April, and like I walked up and he's like, "Hey," I was like, "How's it going? Nice to meet you." He's like, "Yeah." Like
Really?
he was not real personable.
He talked us up a
But see-
storm. Me and Will.
See,
Yeah.
I brought
Yeah,
that-
I don't know. Maybe he was just having a bad afternoon, but I mean, he didn't seem to be too enthused. I don't know.
Wow,
I don't
I've
know.
met him. I've met him several times, and he's always been really cool to me.
'Cause I've
Yeah,
asked
I
him
don't
about
know
his
what was
sunglasses.
going on.
He
It's on
literally
sunglasses.
Kev Buckler can tell you this. He literally remembered me
Yes.
from the last time I talked to him, and we talked about that time when we had met each other too. So I mean, like that's how intelligent and how great this guy's memory is. He literally remembered the conversation that he and I had the last time we met. So I
it
mean,
might have
I'm
just been a bad
surprised.
moment.
I
Yeah,
asked him
maybe-
about the
maybe.
sunglasses, you know, if he still had all of them, and he said that he has them at home in a case, all the ones that he used with the ENC run.
Yep.
See,
I'm
ju-
surprised.
just-
I've never heard that about Christian before. Like I've heard that about a lot of people, but I've never heard that about Christian. But
Did you know
I mean,
those
it can
those
happen.
glasses were actually specially made by Oakley? They had
Oh, really?
WWE had them specially designed.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Back
Oakley's
to
good
go-
stuff.
Just one last thing on MJF. Right now, he's a babyface. He's not a heel. He's a babyface right now.
That's so
So-
weird.
Like I mentioned that before when he started the babyface run, I wondered that if him at the shows is actually him or him continuing to keep the character going.
I just wonder because
So-
you haven't seen him at shows since he turned babyface.
That's my thing. I wonder if he was to do a show, if he was going to be the dick. So then that means he's always like that at shows, or if it's just him continuing the character at shows.
Yeah, I don't know.
Remains to be seen.
But I know someone
don't
said
know.
earlier, they said when we were talking shit about AEW, I just joke around when I say stuff bad about AEW. I don't mind the show. I know a couple of guys here really don't like AEW, and that's okay.
Brian,
But it,
But it's our opinion. Nobody should really get butthurt over it. It's everybody has an opinion. And
Yeah.
I don't
Quit
want
getting
anybody to
butthurt.
get upset. I mean, it's like assholes. We all have one, and we all use
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah, who cares?
Brian,
except for
If
maybe
you like-
maybe Ben doesn't use his asshole. I think he does feces retention. He
Sorry,
don't
man.
poop, man.
What?
Steve,
We're
what the hell?
16. We're 16 minutes in, and we're already getting canceled.
Dildos,
Well, yeah.
feces retention. Got to cover our bases before we actually do something, you know.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Anyway,
Gotta
Nick,
throw in
welcome
some
to the
farts,
show.
you know.
hey, Steven, do you know earlier how you said Nicholas sounds like Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of AEW, you sound like Nyla Rose.
All right. Does that turn
Hey.
you on? Is that why you brought it
Hey,
up?
hey, hey, and your beard is almost as big as Nyla's.
Hey, that's funny.
Hey, dude, if we're not canceled already, man, we.
If you're gonna get
That's right.
canceled, this is how you do it.
You get
Yeah.
one per week. Each person
Well, we
gets one
just
per week.
we just lost the rest of the viewers.
Hey, technically, mine wasn't even offensive towards you. Mine was offensive towards her. Your beard is almost as big as hers. I mean,
Yeah.
And
Well.
to be fair, we started losing viewers as soon as they brought up AEW. So
oh yeah, it always drops. It tanks the minute you say the AEW. It's
Exactly.
like people bolt.
You
Yep.
guys
I mean-
always say that, but like, it looks like it went up on my side. Anyways, let's get into show and tell because we only have an hour and we've already wasted a third of it. So,
Okay.
all right,
It's
I
not
only have one
waste.
thing for showing.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't wasted.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay.
I do.
All right. I went to Walmart to find some Superstars lines, and of course, I was disappointed. However, behind the depths, somehow there was this Bray Wyatt there, and
Sweet.
it's
Nice.
damaged. It's damaged, but I don't care about that. So I picked this up, and I'm gonna open this up
Yeah,
off
I was
screen.
about to say, you've got them out and breathing anyway, don't you, Stevie?
Yeah, I actually bought. I meant to send show pictures, but I got some acrylic stands for the walls, and so like I actually have my figures on stands now.
And I saw those, and they look pretty sweet.
Hey,
Yeah.
Where'd you
Steven.
get your stands at?
Yeah, how many? And also, where do you get your stands? What from Nick? Nick, and then how many does actual figures fit on those stands?
So I think I have like, you know what? I'll dig the picture up when it's somebody else's turn, and then I'll show you guys in a minute. I got the shelves though originally for my pop figures. It was 6 shelves for $26, I think.
Nice.
Anyways, Brian, you go for it.
All right, so guys, I pre-ordered this a long time ago. If you guys aren't familiar, Zombie Sailor Toys. I finally got the King Kong
Bundy.
Bundy.
Nice.
That's my
Sweet.
favorite.
These are
That's
these
my
are
favorite.
Really, these are really nice figures.
Yeah,
It just
that's
sucks
my
they take so
favorite
long to
one.
get. I also got Bruiser Brody.
My favorite.
Go wrong with
Oh,
Bruiser.
Bruiser.
Brother
Brody.
Brody.
Then you have
Brody.
the blue strap Andre.
Nice.
So like
Nice.
for like size comparison, you can. I mean, the Andre, like they did it right. They made him bigger than the others. But here's my favorite one is Raven,
Oh, very nice.
and then
That one honestly did look the best in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, and then I was able to find a couple superstars. I did find the Vader.
Yeah.
Shit. Why you say damn? You ain't happy for Brian?
No,
I
I want
got
this.
Ooh, Chase
I
Hogan.
got the Chase. Yeah.
Chase Hogan.
I wanted
Nice.
to, but it's not like I was gonna find it at his store.
And then on the back it
I'm
says it's
happy.
Vader time. But that's the only thing that I wish had was the mask, the Mastodon mask. That'd been sweet, but still a beautiful figure.
I'm
So
happy
the
for you,
only
Brian. If you
figure
find another
that
hook
has the only figure that has that Mastodon mask is the Legends figure, right?
Yes.
No.
The Legends and
no,
then
not the
Elite,
Legends.
Elite 31 had it.
Yeah, first elite
Yeah.
with the blue box.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
but in
Oh,
my
you're-
opinion, the best one is the Legend.
Will, you're up next, man.
All right. Time for me to go. All right. So, I mean, I got a lot of stuff this week, but, for the sake of time, we definitely want to just throw a couple goodies up there, like the Ultimate Warrior from Nitro, the Ultimate right here. Pretty sweet. And this one has to stay in the collection. I can't let this one go. So you know what that means. It's time to give it the old 4-finger discount right here and just start ripping.
4-finger discount.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get a good enough grip in the package to rip it. You know what I mean? So You don't worry
Yeah.
about my vernacular. So there you go, right there, the Ultimate Warrior.
I
And then,
can't picture taking something like that out of the package. Oh.
wow. So then you got the
it'll happen
Shawn
a lot.
Michaels. You got the Shawn Michaels Elite. It's got the WrestleMania 14 attire. I actually put this up a couple times for sale on the live because I have so many Shawn Michaels Elites. Nobody bought it. So again, you got the 4. Woo! You just kind of get it right in there on the side. You just kind of
Hey,
start
William,
pulling
does
and
that one come
tugging.
with the
And
belt?
it does not, but it should have. It does not. They fucked that up again. All Elites and all Ultimates should absolutely come with a belt. Mattel should pay attention to that because that's going to sell way more figures. There you go. The Shawn, just a badass figure. Look at that thing, man. Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Good
I mean,
detail
that's
there.
spot on. That's spot
know-
on. So
That's my only Shawn Elite that I have.
I have so many that I was gonna let this one go to another home, but nobody claimed it. I put it up a couple times, so it's staying here with me for the rest of its life, and we'll move on from that. So again, I got a lot of I had some big mail days this week. Admin Michael and I are going to the Hogan signing on Saturday, so we'll have some more personal items this week. But that's all I planned on showing this week. So.
Oh yeah.
Someone says, "What's up, Willie?" and "What's up, Ben?" in the comments.
Does somebody
up,
hear a
Roberto?
noise, like a crackling noise?
Yeah.
I hear it. Is
Somebody
Tom Burnett
fiddling
back
with
on?
something.
Huh.
I think it's Roger typing on his computer or something. Who doing that?
Probably aliens.
Maybe.
Goddamn
Anyways,
interference.
I was gonna pull those images up, but Nick, if you want to go next, man, for show and tell, if you have anything.
All right, so for show and tell, I brought some of the stuff I thought would be cool. I've wore these a couple times to shows. Macho Man's.
Sweet.
Nice.
Wow, those are cool, man.
Ooh yeah on it,
They got that orange in there. Hell, I'd wear them.
Oh yeah. And
Sweet.
then
Got the
got
right color of orange.
limited edition variant, Bloody New Jack. For this one, I'm a big ECW fan. So when I had a chance to get this one, I was like instantly on it. I love New Jack, his story, how he came up. And then following ECW, it's an original ECW hat signed Sandman, Sabu, Shane Douglas with the ECW tag on it. It's never been worn.
Sweet.
And then
Nice.
these
Someone
two
wants to know
figures-
where you got those macho shoes.
Honestly, I was on Instagram, and I want to say it was from an off-brand site. It was on Instagram. It popped up this ad, and it was the Macho Man shoes with the Macho Man scarf. And I was like, I had to get it instantly, and it came within 2 weeks. And I don't know. I'll have to go back in my emails to where I got them. But these are comfy, and any wrestling fan will just straight up be like, those are it.
Yeah.
I'm a shoe guy as well, so when I saw those, I was hooked. And then
Yeah.
with Fallen Figures, the original ECW, the vibration on this still works. Chris Benoit. Package is a little
Vibrators.
damaged. What?
Vibrators.
Vibrator.
Yeah. Yeah, Series 1. This was I'm a big Chris Benoit fan as well. So when I saw this was nice. And then Series 3, WCW Sting.
Nice.
Just the pink on that. It's vibrant. The face paint.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It almost looked like you were gonna open it, man, twice.
No. For me, I don't open if it's anything other than a Mattel, I don't open it. That's just how I am.
I got you.
Except for my like the Hasbros I have and the LJNs, you find those in package. I mean, but most of the time you find those loose. But I keep them nice and tight, nice and protected.
Yeah. I tell you
Nice.
what, though, man, these figures look so damn good when you take them out, especially with them soft goods right there. Well, not right there where I pointed, but
goods.
talking about the shirt.
Soft goods pointing at the crotch.
Had to
Nice.
bend the hat up a little bit. Y'all a bunch of haters, man.
He done pointed to the man.
Hard. You don't hear me hating on you like that.
Someone said, Ben, Ruby Soho is live if you want to watch.
Hey, last night said a hater. Yeah,
Aw.
she is not attractive. Y'all are
Hey,
crazy.
She's fucking hot, dude.
Y'all are crazy.
I'm
She
not
looks like
fucking-
she looks like Peter Avalon with tattoos.
Ben, you would not turn her down. I guarantee it.
You
I
would have
turned
never
it.
said that if I didn't mention it to you.
Now I can't unsee it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care if she looks like Peter Avalon or not. I'm not kicking her out of bed.
There ain't
She's hot.
nobody you
Damn,
would
son.
kick
Dildos
out of
and all,
bed,
baby.
Kev.
No,
Damn,
there's
Kev.
a couple.
See, I'm always a sucker for the wrestling divas that have tattoos and everything like that, that rocker look. So Ruby, Paige, Lita.
I'm a
Ashley.
big I'm a big
I like
Shotzi, I'm a
Ruby.
Shotzi Blackheart. I love Shotzi Blackheart. Now she's hot.
Shayna
I
Baszler.
would.
She's got the same look. as
Rhea
Ruby.
Ripley
What?
is nice.
Steven,
Rhea
stop.
Ripley, she
Dude,
doesn't
I'm
know
telling
what
you,
she's
I'm
really
telling you
married.
right now. You guys don't see what these girls look like on Instagram compared to TV. They look way better on Instagram. Just a tip.
What?
Shayna
No
Baszler.
pun.
And OnlyFans.
I don't think Shayna Baszler or Ruby Soho have OnlyFans. Probably for the
But
better.
they should.
Yes.
Yes.
Rhea Ripley needs one.
Once they see how much money, what's her name's pulling, they might change real fast.
So I know these look fucked up in the picture. I did reorganize them and tidy them up better. The reason they look like that is because the pop cases, they don't sit flat. Like you
Sit
see how
right,
this one
yeah.
kind of stands up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it does look better now. And I think I ended up putting the Pikachu here and then reorganizing it to where like it looked like I was kind of trying to collect up instead of collect down. And then this is what loose figures look like. That's you probably get about 10 on there.
Sweet.
Yeah, you guys were asking, so I figured I'd show you.
Nice. Very nice.
Kev, it's your turn, man.
So is this the same segment as our PC items, or are we
No.
doing it all together?
No, it's
No, we're gonna
separate,
do that at
so-
the end of the night.
Okay, Skip.
Okay. Roger Dodger.
All right, so I had a pretty decent mail week. I got a couple of things from Mr. Ben Bowman, and then today I got some things from the Tribal Chief. I got the ring worn Johnny Drip Grip.
That was a hell of a pickup.
Yep. You remember when we bought those, right? We bought every one of them from them.
Hell of a pickup.
So I got that because I'm a big John Morrison guy. And then, of course, the Alexa Bliss.
Nice.
That one I
Yeah,
had to
very cool.
have. That one I had to get from Will. I just couldn't.
So
Okay.
that one was bought. That one was bought at the Hamley Arena in Tampa at a live show. I just can't remember which live show it was. I don't remember if it was Raw or what it was, but it was one of those shows.
So then I got my stuff from Ben. I got the Ben. Remind me of her name again.
Tiffany Nuevas.
Nuevas. Thank you. I want to say Nevis, but yeah.
Nevis Nuevas. It's my accent. Yeah.
Hey, I'll go with what you said. So I got 3 of them from him. I got this one. I got the baddie,
Yeah.
and then I got my favorite one.
Oh yeah.
I
Tongue
gotta
out.
keep it- I got to keep this away from Kev.
Kev's not even here.
Kev left.
He left. He had to go. He had to go pee or something.
Butler has left
He
the
went,
building.
he went to go find that bendable hips Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, can I have my turn back after he's done?
Sorry,
I'm
no
done.
refunds.
Go ahead. I'm done.
Nice
All right.
pickups, Roger.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you.
Especially that Morrison shirt. I just want to show these real fast. Got this from the tribal chief. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Hell yeah.
I
Is it
forgot all
big?
about
Graded,
it.
graded, encapsulated.
Oh, I see it now.
Fiend.
It's just kind of
I
dark.
can't see who it is because of the glare.
It's the Fiend.
It's the burnt fiend.
Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. Now I can see it.
Yep, it's awesome.
Yeah, you
That's the
you
burnt
you
one.
got up in there now. I mean, we definitely know who it is now.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
burnt one. Yeah.
That's
This is
beautiful.
fucking awesome. And I got this one I forgot to show. I got to give a shout out to Brian Howarth. He bought this for me. Had bought it from
Hell
Will.
yeah.
Had it sent to me.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
This
Hell
is an
yeah.
awesome
Awesome.
shirt. I love it.
Love
Thank
that
you,
shirt.
Brian. I appreciate it, brother. And
TRC
welcome.
admins taking care of each other. That's what it's all about. Very cool.
Oh yeah, baby.
Very
that's
nice.
what we do. We take care of each other, and I'm done.
Will, I forgot to show the shirts that I purchased from you. I forgot. If you want, I can bring them and show everybody.
That's okay. Go ahead. Go. We'll get it next time. We'll get it next week. We'll get it next week.
All right. Those
It's Ben's
shirts
turn.
are amazing. You got.
Damn, that's a close up.
Hell yeah, it is.
All right, guys. And this is what I picked up this weekend. Not the cat. I was able to go to Stairs Fest and meet David Arquette. So I got this poster signed right here by David Arquette in the light blue, which now hopefully fill that up. And then today I only went and bought 2. So I got 2 of them framed. There's the Halloween right there signed by Nick Castle right there in the orange.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I like.
And then
Nice.
then I have this one
That
right here.
Oh my gosh.
Return of the Living Dead 3, signed by Melinda Clark. And she wrote in there, the pain keeps the hunger away. Love, Melinda Clark, Julia Walker. So those
That's
are
awesome.
all.
I love
And
her.
we just. All right.
Can't
Damn.
do her.
Julia kicked
Uh-oh.
Ben off the damn podcast.
Ben Bowman has left the building.
Oh man. Probably
That
get some
damn
cream
poster
cheese.
was too hot for him to handle.
Ben Bowman has been power
Oh, there he
bombed.
is.
There he is. Powerbomb.
Damn.
Powerbomb.
Damn, that poster was hot, Ben. Kicked
It
you
was.
off.
It was.
Hey.
I got them framed today, and actually, I tried to see if they're cheaper on Amazon. I went to Walmart. They're cheaper. I saw on Walmart, so I got those. Now I got to get the Scream framed, and then I got to get some of the wrestling posters framed too.
I'm really impressed with both that Scream and the Halloween. They both look great, Ben.
Thanks.
Yeah, those look amazing.
Yeah, they.
Matt,
I
I
had to
gotta
get those up
say,
immediately.
Nick is the perfect fit for us on this damn show. If anybody he'd like us, he's fucking eating supper while he's on the
Eating
damn
supper while he's
podcast. I
doing
love it.
Yep. All right, Dr. Nick, what you got?
All
gotta
right.
do
Well,
what you gotta do
I first
sometimes.
went to Ollie's, and I found both versions of these. They're the Super 7 Lucha figures.
Nice.
Blue
Nice.
Demon in the suit, and Blue Demon in his ring gear. I love these things. They are so cool.
I love those little
And then I found this in the book section. Basically, it's a book. It has like stories and photos about The Rock.
Oh, The Rock.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty cool. It has like
Through the lens.
full color photos. Talks about like on the movie scenes of like the Jungle Cruise, and pretty interesting book. And then I got this today. I am maybe a handful to have a complete set now. I got these from Ben. I got August 2000 Wow Magazine, The New Blood or Old News. I love these. These were so cool.
Definitely,
I
those
remember
were
going
well
to
worth
the.
the. Yeah, those are definitely well worth the money because they are so
Oh
thick,
yeah.
My favorite
and they had
magazine.
all colored photos.
Well, because I remember going to the newsstand when these first came out, and like, what are these? And they were more expensive than the WWF magazine, but they had more in it, and
Yeah.
it covered all three companies. Then I've
Very
got
first one of WoW had Goldberg on the front.
June of 2001 with the Undertaker. I've got May of 2001 with Stone Cold. What?
Nice.
June 2000 with Mick Foley.
I like that shot.
Have a nice
And
day.
then I really love this one. It's April of 2001, and it's got The Rock and Austin. Get ready for Mania.
Nice.
Nice.
But that's all I got. Got some good quality items. Not a big week, but got some good quality stuff.
You know, some
Oh, yeah.
people say that Rock Austin match at WrestleMania 17 was the best WrestleMania match of all time. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that some people say that was the best WrestleMania match of all time. I will say that I think it's got to be at least in the top 10.
Oh, absolutely.
Top 10, yeah.
The
Top
build
10
up to that
definitely.
match was
Yep.
was so good that because back then, we all know they would spend months building up to a pay-per-view versus like the next pay-per-view. It's like, okay, well, we're going to spend 3 weeks doing this. No, this was almost an entire year's worth of build up back and forth.
Yeah.
Even longer
But I
if you
think
just
that goes-
consider the way fans thought of Rock and Austin. And
Oh yeah.
because I remember being a kid and I was like, they need to have them both fight each other, for like a year before their rivalry even started.
Do you remember Royal Rumble 2001? It's almost over. There's only a handful of guys left in the ring. And all of a sudden you look at one corner and Austin's leaning against the turnbuckles because he's sitting down and his eyes are just side-eyeing The Rock, right? And Rock's in the other corner of the ring looking over towards Austin, and they're both just kind of staring at each other. And next thing you know, they both stand up and go head-to-head. And that was like the beginning of WrestleMania 17 right there in that Royal Rumble match. If you ever watch it back and you just watch the last 10 minutes of the Royal Rumble of that match, and you'll see how that match started right then and there.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the same year Kane eliminated 13 people?
Was it 13?
I know
That
it was a
was
bunch.
Yeah.
It was a bunch.
was-
It was a bunch, yeah. But yeah, it was the same year, yeah.
Yeah, they used Limp Bizkit to hype up that match and
Oh,
had
yeah.
music and
Yeah.
I tell you what, man.
What would you rank your top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time?
Oh man, that's so
That's a
tough.
hard one.
So tough. Everybody has a different one, I mean, it's hard to say, WrestleMania 8, Bret Hart and Piper was tremendous. WrestleMania 3, of course, Andre and Hogan was a pace setter. Hogan and Bundy in the cage. Macho and Steamboat never was a big one for me, but a lot of people love it. I liked Undertaker and Shawn at 25.
Brett and Shawn at 12.
Brett and Shawn at 12. Brett and Austin at 13.
yeah.
Right at 10.
Yoko and Brett at 10 too. Owen and Brett and Yoko and Brett at 10. So it's so hard, man.
I
You
just
know,
love
to try to
10,
do a
period.
to try to do a Mount Rushmore of WrestleMania matches is just extremely difficult. But I think you could probably do a better organization with top 10, and maybe we'll look at that for next week because I know we're running
Yeah.
really short on time. But we'll look at that for next week, like top 10 or something.
We could all
but I
work together in the group chat and
Yeah,
decipher the top 10 between us.
yeah, that'd be
Sounds
great.
good.
That'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
I can definitely see there's going to be some debating and some arguing on that one for sure.
I
Well,
did
hey,
have a
Steve-
question that
Steven.
I'd like to run by everybody.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, what were you going to say?
Yeah, if we do that, do just send us a private message. Ask us which ones do we like. Then you get the information, and then with the
Tally it
motion
up.
and all that, we can decipher. That way, it'd be less to it won't take too long, but It'd be a lot quicker.
Yeah, but
than
then
we
he
could
has
do it.
to. But then he has to message back and forth between 8 people instead of us all doing it in the same chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
but
we can do it that
no,
way.
I could do it the harder way, just so it'd be more of a surprise for everybody.
Yeah, leave it to Ben to make it hard on
It'll
everybody.
definitely be different because
You
some of us
big dummy.
were born in different eras. So I mean, certain matches might mean more to other people.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I think
No
we can make
extra
it happen
credit,
though.
Ben.
Okay, what's your question?
Yeah, so I want to start doing a question every week because we kind of got away from doing that, and this week is a pretty easy one. It's if you could change one thing in wrestling history, what would it be? And we're gonna take turns answering, and I'm gonna go last because I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna pick mine, but I have a backup too.
Somebody's
All right,
gonna
so-
pick mine too.
Brian, you go first.
So mine's pretty basic anyway. It seems to me, but if I could change one thing, it would be WWE going back to WWF.
Okay.
I wish it was WWF again, or still. So
Okay.
that's mine.
Hell yeah. That's creative, man. You'd have to fight the World Wildlife Foundation or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Pandas,
World
dude, it's just
Wildlife
fucking pandas, dude. It's
So the one thing that you want to change in wrestling history is the World Wildlife Foundation doesn't exist.
Yes.
Mhm.
pretty much.
First, at least first, right?
Yeah.
All right, Will.
Yeah.
So 2 things. Number one, if we weren't going to get shut down for the content earlier, now PETA will shut us down over Brian's comments. Number two, if I could change one thing in wrestling history, it's the one thing that's always bothered me since the very beginning. Lex Luger, SummerSlam 93, should have won the belt in the main event at SummerSlam 93. You very easily could have had him drop it back to Yoko on Raw or Superstars or whatever, and you still could have built up Survivor Series. You still could have built up the Rumble. You still could have built up WrestleMania 10. There's absolutely no reason that Lex didn't win that title at SummerSlam 93.
That's a good one. I mean, because he never had the gold, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that'd be good. What about you, Nick?
I got 2, but I'm going for the first one. WWE, the buyout, buying WCW and ECW.
Somebody said that one in the comments too.
Like for me, that was what kept WWE to push everything. You know, because once they bought their competition, they didn't really have that competitor until TNA started.
Right.
You know, so and it just kept the Ruthless Aggression era was great, but if they would have kept WCW going, ECW going, you could have had more. The wrestlers could have had more creative freedom with them, with themselves, and really grow as a professional rather than guys like Perry Saturn going to WWE and Raven and not being used correctly.
Yeah.
Because you got to look. Very few guys that came from WCW who actually stay. I'm not talking, Triple H or Undertaker. I'm talking guys like Billy Kidman, guys like Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, Raven. Those guys didn't really get a chance after they left the company, when they got in the WWE.
Yeah, because all I remember about Raven is him getting his ass beat, hitting the head with VCRs and stuff.
He didn't really do much. He became a hardcore champion, and after he got put on heat, but there wasn't the creativeness that he had.
Yeah, for sure. Kev, what do you got, man?
So I don't know the dates, but there was this match, and it was between Chris Jericho and Triple H back when Jericho first got there, and Linda McMahon come out. Stephanie was with Triple H, and he was the champion. It was on Monday Night Raw, and Triple H actually defeated, or Chris Jericho defeated Triple H for that title. One of the biggest pops I ever heard. And then later on, they made the ref come out and apologize and say that it never happened. And I really think if they should have made that title change stick. I think it would have done great for Jericho because he had just he come out.
I
wearing
remember that. It was on a
Yeah.
SmackDown episode.
Was it SmackDown? I didn't remember what it was, but if they would have just let him run with that
Mhm.
for a little while, I think it really would have got over. But then he come out and they changed it and just like pissed on the whole episode for me.
Was it a SmackDown? I thought it was a Raw.
I thought it was Raw, but I'm pretty
You
sure it was
guys-
Raw. Now that I
You
think
guys
about it.
questioning the integrity of Dr. Nick right now?
If
No,
it was
but
in
I
the
can
early-
I can visualize seeing it, but I didn't think it was SmackDown. But he might be right. I'll have to look that up now.
if it was like early 2000s,
It was
after
definitely Raw.
2001, it would have
It
been.
was like
SmackDown.
late '99.
99.
Jericho
was
arrived
on
there in
Raw.
'99.
Jericho was
Raw.
on Nitro in '99.
He arrived in '99 though.
I don't remember when the
Yeah.
hell it was. I just know that they had him winning, and it was just out of nowhere, and it was great. And I think they should have just kept with the decision and kept the title on him at least for a month or so. Back then they were doing that stuff. So
Yeah. Roger, what do you got, man?
I think if I could go back and change anything, it would be to have the old guys that knew how to do creative writing and the writing for the wrestlers come forward and teach the new guys, or come forward and just stay. Because the writing these days and the overall storytelling, if you will, it's not there. It's not like it used to be.
Yeah.
So I think if I could change anything, it would be to either continue with those guys or teach the new guys how to do it.
I got you. Yeah, better mentoring and coaching and better writing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the back office does, dictate how shit goes outside. I mean, especially when they're trying to home grow every piece of their, roster.
Yeah.
Someone in the comments said that we hate on WWE's only competition, AEW a lot. But the thing is like, I still consider Ring of Honor, TNA, New Japan competition to WWE as well.
It
What are we
was
looking
Monday
at?
Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, April of 2000.
Oh, but damn.
Thank God for
God, I
that.
wish they would have made that stick.
I still stand with what Dr. Nick said. I don't believe that.
Looking at you.
You just made that clip. You just made that
Fake
clip
news.
and posted it to YouTube.
Fake
didn't you?
news.
Yeah. That's right. What about you, Ben? What you got?
So far, all great points. I thought about if WCW would have won the battle, if the NWO didn't, if it just stayed the main NWO, the main three, not adding several. But the one thing I would change is Vince McMahon's greediness to pay Bret Hart more money before, so he would not jump ship and go to WCW. Stayed with WWF at the time. He probably wouldn't have got hurt by Goldberg. We might have seen more great classic matches with Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, the Young Rock coming up. We would have saw a lot of great matches. And then Owen probably still would probably been around. You'd have the Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely could have seen great matches from Brett in WCW if they
Yeah.
would have just wrote it right. I mean, he had so many people to work with there that he could have been the very top of that company, and they just didn't write it right.
Do you think Owen would have still been alive though?
No,
I think if Brett had been there, he would have talked to Owen out of doing it.
I think it still would have happened.
Well, that's what he always says. That's what Brett always says.
Well, because Brett left him, and then kind of they didn't have no role for Owen. He was with the Nation of Domination, had his little thing, and then now brought him back as Blue Blazer.
Blue Razor. Yeah.
Yeah, they still would have had the Hart Foundation, I think.
Crazy part about all that was they switched the companies for the harness the day before. That was the craziest thing.
Yeah.
To be cheaper.
Well, see, I'll go ahead and go next since we're talking about it because mine was going to be that Owen Hart's plane was delayed and he didn't make the show, or he got up the courage to say no, I don't want to do this at the expense of losing his spot or whatever by defying management. I've been listening to a lot of shoot interviews, people talking about Owen Hart, this week, And even Vince Russo said that, you know, that whole gimmick wasn't even planned for the show, that it was suggested like a week or so ahead of time. And so it wasn't really well thought out. And that's, you know, that what's ultimately led to Owen Hart's, you know, widow being able to get $18 million, because the neglect at actually managing that stunt. But yeah, that was going to be mine. I was going to say, you know, Owen Hart doesn't attempt that, but, you know, and then I thought about it, you know, like it was called Over the Edge and then he fell. So it's just, it seems really fucked up, you know. I mean, obviously it is that he fell and died, but you're going to fall on a pay-per-view called Over the Edge. Like, it almost seems like there may have been some kind of like intention with that whole incident.
The thing is, we'll never know the true story. We have different parts. We'll never know the true story.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, too, I mean, I get that. And a lot of that could be extremely coincidental. But, I mean, you know, if you believe, you believe. And if it was his time, it was his time. And there was a reason, you know, that it happened. And maybe the reason was to keep others from having it happen. You know, I mean, look at Sting. He was religiously doing that stunt. And so were other people that were dressed up as Sting. You got to remember, 1997, there was all kinds of wrestlers dressed up as Sting coming down on those cables, you know. And
You got to think Shawn Michaels.
Maybe Shawn Michaels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
yeah,
did.
I mean, there was all kinds of wrestlers doing those things, and it wasn't that long ago now that Logan Paul did it too. So, you know, I mean, I think everything happens for a reason. Was it probably some serious neglect that led to it? Absolutely, there's no doubt. But, you know, at the end of the day, whether it was him falling from the sky, you know, hitting the ring, or, you know, him passing away like Eddie in the hotel room, I mean, when it's the time, it's the time. And, you know, that's the sad part, you know, and he was so young. But I don't know that in reality anything would have changed it. I mean, look at Jerry. Look at Jerry. Did anybody really think after him having that heart attack on Raw that he was going to make it? I mean,
Or
think
even
about that.
wrestle again.
Yeah.
He wrestled.
Yeah, and then, you know, go on to live, you know, all these years extra. You know, now he's got some serious health problems too. But, you know, I mean, look at how, you know, how much life he's had in him since that. You know.
True.
So.
Just
Yeah.
to follow up to what you said, Will, you were talking about Sting and everything. It was supposed to be the same people that does Sting stunt that did the Blue Blazer, but it's different because the Blue Blazer was supposed to come down and he was supposed to fall in like the last 10 feet. Like it was supposed to be like he sucks at being a superhero. So the way they had to rig him up was he had a kill switch in his hand.
Yeah.
And probably because he's terrified of heights, he was nervous and misunderstood or something and released it, you know, obviously too early. But, you know, Sting he had like a different setup, even though it was the same people doing the stunt.
Sting's was almost like a zip line
Yeah.
to where it was like a.
It was like connected to his back and he had to like take a
Yeah.
thing off.
Thank you. Yeah.
But no, his was Owens was set up to where he was supposed to squeeze this thing and then it was going to completely release him.
The one thing that Mick Foley said was before he got to the ring and fell, you know, he was just kept telling people to look out, you know, watch out, watch out. And I thought, you know, you're falling that far, you're still thinking about people's safety, you know?
Yeah. I've heard a couple of, I mean, like I said, I've seen a lot of shoot interviews, especially this week. So it's fresh in my mind. But I've heard that from a couple of them. And then others just said they heard screaming. So, you know, it's just really blurry, you know, as far as like what actually happened. You can only make it up in your head from what you've been told or heard. Still sucks though.
Also, too, where his positioning of where he landed in the ring. I mean, if he would have hit just the mat and not the turnbuckle,
Yeah.
you know, he might have broke his legs, he might have broke his back, but he would have been alive. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, even falling that far from the you know the catwalk of the arena, if you hit that mat, you know, you probably would have smashed through that mat, probably would have broke those boards underneath the ring. You probably would have destroyed the damn ring. but that would have cushioned your fall just enough that you might have broke some bones. But unless it caved in, your sternum and all that, chances are you're going to live.
Yeah, for
But he
sure.
came down and hit, just above the turnbuckle, just between the post and the turnbuckle, right through there, basically sternum and up is what hit that. And once he hit that, everything was just crushed.
Yeah, they said that he died from a sliced aorta. So it's because his artery popped.
Hmm.
Otherwise, he would have lived. And they were giving him CPR on the way out, which wasn't helpful because he didn't have a CPR problem, or he didn't have a respiratory problem. He had a busted artery.
Yeah, internal bleeding.
Yeah. But anyways, I didn't mean to make this the Owen Hart segment, but Dr. Nick, what would you change about wrestling history?
Honestly, and I think it's because I have seen so many interviews, heard so many stories, and learned about them. I really wish that mental health would have been better back then. That the Von Erich boys had gotten help. They
Yeah.
lost so many family members, and one of the most heartbreaking things I ever heard was when Kevin said, I used to be a brother and now I'm not even that anymore. He's like, he basically lost everybody.
Yeah.
Sure did.
You
I'll never
know,
forget that quote. I've been a brother my entire life, and now I'm
Yeah.
not even a brother.
I mean, his dad. I mean, his dad ended up dying from other things, but I guarantee that didn't help. That him losing his sons, and then just one after another, Kerry getting in trouble with drugs, the motorcycle accident didn't help. Him losing his other brother. I mean, it was just one after another, and they were losing their friends. Gino Hernandez, a
Chris
lot of
Adams.
other world class guys were gone. It was a really bad time, for a lot of the guys. And I mean, I don't know how he survived this long, besides being there for his own boys. But I mean, yeah, if I could change anything, I wish that things had been more accessible and more thought of back then. We would be seeing a lot more guys alive. I mean, could you imagine the type of matches that they could have had and the type of people they could have mentored? I
Well,
mean,
They were.
it's
Kerry
just
alone,
amazing.
Kerry alone in WWF post SummerSlam 91 would have been WWF champion once Flair had that
Absolutely.
belt. Once Flair had that
Yep.
belt, because if you think about it, even back in the WCCW days, one guy beat Ric Flair in Texas, and that was Kerry Von Erich. And I
Mhm.
think they would have absolutely recreated that in WWF,
Yep.
even if it wasn't for a long period of time. They had lost the Warrior post SummerSlam 91, but if you ever put Kerry Von Erich and the Warrior next to each other, they look an awful friggin' lot alike. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Oh
So
You
yeah.
got to
I
think about
think
his
I think
toughness and his tenacity too.
There's a
he
lot of people that's
becomes
not. Go
the
ahead.
next version of the Ultimate Warrior, and the Texas Tornado becomes world champion.
That would have
Yep.
been awesome. Dude, I love me some David Von Erich. If he didn't die, he would have been world champion, and I love David.
They had. I'll tell you. You had Gino Hernandez. You had Gentleman Chris Adams. You had all the Von Erichs. You had Bruiser Brody. You had Kali.
Dino Bravo.
You had Dino Bravo. You had I'm trying to think of his name, Kabuki. You had George the Animal Steel. You had all these great wrestlers that were in WCCW that I remember watching as a kid, watching George the Animal Steel sit there and chew up freaking turnbuckle pads and throw the stuffing out. I mean, there was great wrestlers there, and it after the Von Erichs, it just went downhill. But I've told you guys before, my uncle smoked a joint with Gino Hernandez and Chris Adams behind Freeman Coliseum after a show. they were great people. It happened too soon for a lot of them, and I agree. If we had the tools now that we had, if we would have had the tools then that we have now, it'd have been a whole different situation.
Yeah, I just seen in the comments they said if the drug policy would have been absolutely, you'd see a lot of guys still alive. You'd see Eddie, you'd see Mr. Perfect, you'd see Rick Rude,
Yep.
Benoit.
you'd see all kinds of guys still alive.
Then them conventions would be worth all them monies they'd
Yeah.
be charging.
Chris Candido, you know, the list goes on of people that would still
Tess.
be around.
Andrew
Brian
Tess
Pillman.
Martin.
So,
Who
Yeah.
was that?
Yeah, there's so
Test.
many of them.
Yeah.
Tess, yeah.
Hawk.
Yep. Animal.
The only one you can't really, other than Owen, is Bruiser Brody, because that's like a whole nother.
Yeah, he got
topic,
stabbed.
you
Yeah,
know?
you're talking about
That's a whole nother topic.
That's
There's
a whole
so
other
much stuff.
conversation. A whole nother
Carlos
half hour.
Colon got him murdered.
Yeah, that's a whole different situation there.
Well, guys,
People
we're
don't
coming
believe
up
Tony
on.
Atlas, but, you know,
That's a whole different show.
We're
We're
coming
gonna
up
have
on.
to. We're gonna have to hold that till next week, aren't we, Steven?
Yeah, we are overtime, but I tell you what, we go ahead and do our PC real quick. We're gonna show off our favorite thing from our PC, or one of them at least. And mine is actually a poster. I think you guys have seen this before, but especially now,
Oh
that
yeah,
TLC poster right there,
Nice.
very meaningful for me. So I keep it in here in my office. That way I can look over and get spooked out all the time, you know. Brian, what you got, man? You got some mute?
you're on mute, Brian.
So, guys, I showed this last week, but I didn't have it in hand, but now I do. It's the Hogan and
Gorgeous.
Sting duo.
Nice.
This is a custom edit by
Starcade.
TRC.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's beautiful.
Woo!
I'm gonna get mine done like that at some point. Will, what you got?
Royal Rumble 1994, signed by both Lex Luger and Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret's signed down here. You can't see it because of the glare. Lex Luger right there across the top. Both of the winners of the Royal Rumble in 1994.
Oh my God, that hurts me, Will.
Sorry.
Why does it hurt?
No, because I want that some bitch.
Yeah, that's a beauty. That's a beauty right there.
Two of my
Signed by the
favorite
two winners.
wrestlers. Damn.
Nick, you
I
got
love it.
anything for your PC, man?
oh, I do. So I'm not taking it out of the bubble wrap. Andre the Giant, LJN,
Nice.
Mean Gene Okerlund,
Hell yeah.
Classy Freddie Blassie, and then an entire box of Hasbro's.
Nice.
A legit
Nice.
entire box of Hasbro's.
Very
Wow,
cool.
dude. Where the heck
Right.
did you get that, man?
The right people at the right time.
Yeah.
I've
That's how it
got
seems
the
to
Who's
go.
gonna know?
I've got the Rockers in here. I got the Bushwhackers, British Bulldog. I got both $1 Million Man variants. I got the G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter. I've got Snuka, British Bulldog. I've got Rick Rude, Virgil, both Big Boss Mans, both Ultimate Warriors. It's Andre the Giant. It's a quite collection of the people. I'll show you right here. Both versions of the Ultimate Warrior.
Nice.
Ted DiBiase?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. I'm sorry.
The ultimate $1 Million man, Ted
right.
Warrior.
Everybody has a price.
Yeah, here we go.
Warrior did hold up Vince for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, both Marty and Sean.
Nice.
Party Marty.
Nice.
So that was mine. Right guy, right time, right price.
Good
Hell
deal.
yeah. Kev, what you got, man?
Share my favorite Sasha Banks pose and pick.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, I can look at this
I'm
forever.
jealous.
Me too.
And just one more real fast. Roddy Piper. Got this from the Tribal Chief.
Hot Rod.
That's
Always good to have a ride.
Yep.
what she said.
Roger.
So I got one. I'm not gonna get extra credit like Kev did. One of my favorite ladies,
Oh,
NXT, Gigi Dolan.
Nice.
I would kick her out of bed and I'd drink her bathwater.
Yes, sir.
Jesus Christ.
well, there's a cancellation right there.
Tell us how you really feel, Roger.
Oh Lord.
Hey, if Kev can talk about Sasha Banks
Dildos?
or Bianca Belair and her extendable legs.
Yeah, her hips. Yeah.
I have to say I gagged a little bit on that.
Shane probably has that GI Joe, but he's not here today. He had to work. Also, Nick, someone said Ted had a third figure of him shirtless.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
The
the
purple card.
punch.
Purple card.
Purple card. Yeah.
Oh,
Purple
yeah.
card.
Ben, what you got, man?
I have not showed this one. This one's not a wrestling. I have a Val Kilmer and Doc
Oh.
Holiday.
They
Wyatt
win.
Oh
or,
yeah.
or I mean Doc Holiday. I mean,
Yeah, 16.
that's
by 20.
awesome.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yep.
Yep.
There.
Sure.
I love that movie Tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
Best in Val Kilmer. That's another one. That's not a lot out there.
We can't be friends. I don't know what I'd do.
Wrap it up,
So,
Dr. Nick.
I'm not in the toy room right now, but I did manage to grab something. This was one of my favorite VHS's Coliseum video, SummerSlam '91.
91. Nice.
Yeah,
It's gorgeous.
and you got the
Look
got
at
the
that.
back with the. We're finally getting that Warrior. We got the Hogan, but we're getting that Warrior soon.
Yes.
Nice.
But
Shit,
cool.
yeah.
Hey,
Well, I think
actually,
it's safe to say-
I forgot to show one of mine from earlier, Steven. I knew I was forgetting something. My pickup this week,
oh,
the
nice.
original uncensored 95 VHS tape. Excellent condition. Thank
That's
you
a
for
hell of
letting
a
me show
pickup.
it, guys. I love very first uncensored pay-per-view from WCW. Love it.
I was just gonna
Awesome.
say I forgot something too. IGPW, and then the brackets have all the winners.
Nice.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Hell of a week. Hell of a week.
Oh, yeah. I guess it's safe to say we all have a bunch of cool shit.
Hell
Yep.
yeah!
Well, Nick, thanks so much for joining us this week. It's
Thank you.
always great to have you. Dr. Nick, that is. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Canfield himself. Maybe we'll have you on again in the future. Thanks everyone for sticking around with us, and we hope you have a great week. Next week we'll be doing predictions for Crown Jewel or whatever this one's called. I can't remember. It probably is Crown
Yeah,
Jewel.
it's Crown Jewel.
Come, Joel.
Awesome. But yeah, anybody else want to say anything before we wrap up, or you guys good?
Just a reminder, this week is Halloween on Tuesday and no Tag Champs live sales. So, and all invoices from this week and last week are due this Friday by 8 p.m., guys. So get those bills paid and we can get them shipped out. And that's all I got. Thank you all so much. And
Sure.
we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely, bud.